Regardless of what you may think of the Porsche Cayenne Turbo S, there's no denying the SUV has made a significant impact in the auto industry. But now that the Cayenne Turbo SE Hybrid is said to replace the Cayenne Turbo S as the flagship model of the SUV line, there's no better way to give the gas-powered SUV the perfect swan song by putting it in the hands of TechArt, the German tuner of all things Porsche. Serendipitously, TechArt's latest program for the Cayenne Turbo S comes at a time when the tuner is celebrating its 30th anniversary. Put these two events together and you're presented with the Edition 30 Years Special Edition version of TechArt's Magnum Sport program for the Cayenne. Among the many new features is 720 horsepower and 678 pound-feet of torque. Consider that insane torque number for a second. Not only does TechArt's program add 88 pound-feet of twist to the Cayenne, but the resulting output also puts it head and shoulders above the 627 pound-feet of torque capabilities of the Porsche Cayenne diesel, which just set a Guinness World Record by successfully pulling a 314-ton Airbus A380. Imagine then what the Edition 30 Years version of TechArt's Magnum program is capable of when afforded the same. The exterior shape remains the same with the regular Magnum Sport models, which in turn look like what would happen to a regular Cayenne Turbo S after it was attacked by 1,000 bees. Adding a wide body kit, complete with a set of new bumpers, a comically bulging hood, a huge rear diffuser and spoiler to a Cayenne apparently has that effect. Any discussion of a TechArt tuning program typically starts on the exterior, where the German tuner has created a reputation for building aerodynamic kits that border on the comical. Some might prefer to describe it as overly aggressive, but the point is that TechArt's aero kits are comprehensive, to say the least. It's no different on the Magnum Edition 30 Years, as the program features newly developed body panels that further enhance the wide body profile of the SUV. The new bumpers and large, bulging hood are standout features, for better or worse. The same can be said at the back, with that massive diffuser taking a lot of the attention away from the equally important rear spoiler. Rounding off the exterior upgrade program for the Cayenne Turbo S is a new set of 22-inch Formula 4 wheels that TechArt developed using weight-reducing technology. While the photos included in TechArt's release show the Cayenne Turbo S drowning in that aero kit, the program itself is available to non-Turbo S variants of the Cayenne, including the GTS and diesels. Other tuners are just as bold on the Cayenne. The Porsche Cayenne is one of those rare vehicles that's become a magnet of sorts for aerodynamic body kits. Believe it or not, but TechArt isn't the only tuner that has presented a wide body kit for the Cayenne in the past few years. TopCar is one of those other tuners, and it's been responsible for some uproariously aggressive aero packages of its own. At one point, it even presented this doozy of a program called the Vantage 2 Red Dragon. Not only does it come with generous helpings of new components, it was also dressed up with a number of red accents throughout the SUV's body, effectively turning it into this red and white mess that's hard to get out of our heads. Another aggressive kit to consider comes all the way from Japan, where Noda tuner Wald International resides. The kit is called the Black Bison, a seemingly appropriate choice of name considering what the final product looks like. It comes with a new front bumper, revised side skirts, extended wheel arches, a new front splitter, LED lights and a ventilated hood, among other aerodynamic knickknacks. Note: photos of the Porsche Cayenne Vantage 2 Red Dragon by TopCar and the Porsche Cayenne Black Bison Edition by Wald International. Porsche Exclusive has options, but not quite like this. Porsche Exclusive remains a go-to option for Cayenne Turbo S owners, especially for those looking for cosmetic enhancements and some minor aero bits. The German automaker's personalization division also offers accessories and packages, but if people are looking for aero kits as outlandish as the ones that TechArt, TopCar, and Wald International are capable of creating, the aftermarket scene remains the best avenue to get them. TechArt's Magnum Sport Edition 30 Years program also features interior upgrades of the bespoke quality. That's hardly a surprise considering the tuner's long-standing reputation as one of the most meticulous aftermarket companies in the business today. As usual, TechArt's upgrade offers for the Cayenne's cabin ranges from premium materials like leather, Alcantara, and carbon fiber with some lacquered details thrown in for good measure. Even the interior's instrument display gets its own bespoke upgrades, as do the sports chronodials and the 3-spoke steering wheel. Porsche exclusive is the way to go here, believe it or not, but other aftermarket tuners aren't as accommodating in offering interior upgrades for a lot of today's cars, including the Porsche Cayenne Turbo. That puts a tuner like TechArt in the minority in this regard, providing a big hole that Porsche exclusive has been able to fill up on its own. The personalization division specializes in aesthetic upgrades, and we've seen that time and again with examples like the Cayenne Platinum Edition and the Cayenne S Palladium Metallic Edition. The interior of the Cayenne Platinum Edition presents itself in a classy way, thanks in part to having leather-wrapped sports seats, Alcantara center inserts, and stainless steel door sills with illuminated Platinum Edition lettering. On the flip side, the Cayenne S Palladium Metallic Edition is a little more flamboyant on the cosmetic front. The two-tone black and gold trim is going to catch some attention, and the use of an extended leather trim package with leather armrests and seat centers in a beautiful contrast color means that owners will be drowning in the premium material every time they step inside their SUVs. At the heart of TechArt's Magnum Sport Edition 30 years tuning package is an engine upgrade program that helps unleash the Cayenne's freakishly powerful performance alter ego. It doesn't go any name, but what it's capable of with that 720 horsepower on tap is beyond comprehension. To get to that number, TechArt pulled out all the stops in developing one of the most impressive power kits in the market today. While the kit itself mostly goes by the TA nomenclature, the one for the Cayenne Turbo S is called the TOP 058/T2.1, and it's responsible for bringing out an extra 150 horsepower and 88 pound-feet of torque, and packing those on the Cayenne Turbo S standard output 570 horsepower and 590 pound-feet of torque. The result is a total output of 720 ponies and 678 pound-feet of twist. We already mentioned that this tuned Cayenne Turbo S already has more torque than its S diesel counterpart, but even with the extra torque, the SUV is still capable of sprinting to 62 miles per hour in just 3.8 seconds before hitting its peak stride at 193 miles per hour. The final numbers are impressive, but what really separates TechArt apart from other tuners is its insistence in giving the entire range of Cayenne models their own engine upgrade programs. From the entry-level diesel variant, the Cayenne Diesel, to models like the Cayenne GTS and the Cayenne Turbo, there's a tuning program available for all of it courtesy of TechArt. Other tuners are just as generous with their programs as versatile as TechArt is when it comes to developing programs for the entire range of Porsche Cayenne models. Other tuners are just as good at giving the Cayenne Turbo S generous amounts of added power. Take Gemball for example, and its Tornado program for the Porsche SUV. The kit itself has been around for quite some time, like TechArt's Magnum program, but throughout the course of its life, the Tornado kit is known to release as much as 750 horsepower out of the Cayenne Turbo. Likewise, tuners like Hamann, Mansory, TechArt, and Luma Design have all helped the Porsche Cayenne Turbo and Turbo S models reach the 700 horsepower plus power threshold. There's no mention on how much the Magnum Sport Edition 30 years costs at the moment. That said, TechArt is open to field questions on pricing, so if anybody wants to find out how much damage to the checkbooks this special edition program is going to make, the best bet is to go to the tuner directly to get a proper price quote. The personalized nature of some of the upgrades means that prices may vary depending on what options are checked off. Porsche Cayenne by Luma Design. Some of the programs here have some age to them, including this one from Luma Design. Presented back in 2012, Luma Design was able to develop its own wide-ranging engine upgrade program for most of the members of the Cayenne family at that time. For instance, it got 443 horsepower for the Cayenne Hybrid S, 276 horsepower for the Cayenne Diesel, and as much as 600 horsepower for the Cayenne Turbo, which at that time came with a standard output of 500 horsepower. Llama design is still in the aftermarket business these days, so it's likely to have a more modern program available for the Cayenne Turbo and Turbo S models. Given its credentials, don't be surprised if these programs pack as much power as the one TechArt is offering here. It's true that when you have an aftermarket company like TechArt that's working on your car, you won't have to worry about getting shortchanged with the finished product. The German tuner has lasted 30 years in the auto-tuning industry, so you can be sure that it already knows what it's doing at this point. No more is that clearer than with its new Magnum Sport Edition 30 years program. It covers all the bases on what you'd want to see on your Cayenne Turbo S, even those features and components that don't suit your style and preferences. Still, there's an all-encompassing nature about this program that invites optimism and confidence for those who are looking into getting one. Just be careful unleashing all the power when you take it out for a drive. There's really no telling what the Cayenne Magnum Sport Edition is capable of when it's running with the full spectacle of its power.